up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. We are down here. We don't have anything to talk about. I literally don't have nothing to talk about. I haven't saved anything. I don't know. This type shit have you wildin'. Hey, it's my shit. Yes, come on, bitch. So, I don't have anything to talk about, so go ahead and like and subscribe and comment. You like for what? I don't even know what I'm lacking yet. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let me see. I watched the last episode of American Horror Story. American Horror Story double feature was good. I can't wait till the next feature comes up, because the last one was real good. It was really good. I'm sorry. I feel like, because like Coven, Hotel were really like my favorite American Horror Story series, right? They were my favorite out of the installments. I do like Freak Show. I did like Freak Show because I always like when they kind of reference like real shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like Hotel was real shit. Coven, I mean, all of it is real shit if you really want to think about it. It's a American Horror Story. But this last one, Evan Peters needed to be back. I love him. I love Evan Peters. Oh my God. He's a mess. He is a mess. He's a mess, and I love every second of it. It was really good, girl. Watch out now. It was really good. This last installment was really good. I feel like it's like one of the best. One of the best. So I can't wait to see what's coming next. What else? And then I'm watching the Circle. I really like Kay. I want Kay to go all the way to the end. I really want Kay and Nick to go all the way to the end. And I really wish that they would realize if they join together, Kay and Nick could go all the way to the end. I haven't watched any other episode. Last episode I watched, who did they get rid of? Daniel. He needed to go. Daniel needed to go because he was just going to coast his way through. That's what he was going to do. He tried to be friends with Roxana. Roxana was out of there. I knew they was going to do that to Roxana. I was just like, damn, but it's a game. I really want Kay and Nick to go to the end. And now this girl, she looks like she's Asian and white. That's what she looks like. She's a gamer. She's there now, and she's the last. There's nobody coming after that, so we're gonna see how it's gonna go. I really want Kay and Nick to be the last one, and then I want Kay to win the money. I do. I'm rooting for everybody black. Sorry, but in the last season, I didn't like the girl with the blue hair. I think she was an educator. She had blue hair, like blue braids. I can't remember her name. But I remember the other girl's name, Savannah. She was the Asian girl. And she kind of threw her under the bus. But it was like the way that she set it up, it was weird. The way it made it seem like Savannah was doing some weird shit. And when you break it down, it really was, I can't remember her name, the girl with the blue hair. What else am I watching? I'm watching 9 Perfect Strangers, but I haven't finished it. So don't tell me about it. Did y'all like 9 Perfect Strangers? And then what else am I watching? I don't see how y'all watch Marriage at First Sight. I cannot. I mean, really? They really should put like a warning at the beginning of that damn show. Like, have you guys ever thought that, like, for some human beings that the institution of marriage is not for them? Like, I know that, like everybody shouldn't, I don't think that everybody, I don't know, like the training for getting married, like, I don't know what I just don't think that I think it's just a flawed institution. And most institutions that are created in society are flawed, right? They are created to benefit one group of people more than the other. It's also made to look like it's benefiting another group of people more than the other. It looks that way, right? It looks that way. And then you get this, Disney has done a wonderful job, and developing and programming little girls to want a marriage, to want a wedding, even before having a marriage, even before understanding the concept of a relationship. These little babies want a marriage. They want to be. They want no. They don't want to be. They don't want to be married. They want a wedding, and they want a prince, and they want a wedding. It's my day. It's fairy tale. It's my day. You get one day. Oh, come on, Meg.
In that bitch. I'm a hot girl. I do hot shit. Spinning shit on my outfit.
Hey, it's my girl. I'm telling you, I do not care what anybody say. Y'all can say what you want to say about Meg the Stallion, honey. I'm here for her. I wish she was out when I was a young diva. When I was a younger diva. Fucking love Meg the Stallion. Every time she be talking so much shit, I love it. And she's dope. And she's dope. And she be having bars, please. Okay, so yeah, like what I was saying about marriage at first sight. I saw one video, Tanya TKO. Now y'all got me watching Little Black Book. I watched his video this morning. They both did like this story on this guy named Jose, who was this man who seems to be suffering from Napoleon complex and wants to control everything and has really weird emotional issues. I don't understand how it's not triggering for people, but I think it's good in a sense that it can kind of show people like these are the types of people that are out here, and these are the type of people that say they want to get married and they have not done any work. They're emotionally deficient. They are self-centered. They, exhibit narcissistic traits, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know, I just think it's I find it triggering. I could not watch that show. I see a lot of people watching that show, and it's just so weird. I think like the institution of marriage and how it's been sold to humans, and this like, it's like, is it really beneficial? I mean, I think the way that it is approached, like, then this is just me just thinking, we would hope, Erica, that's what you would be doing while you are talking, is thinking. Okay, that's what we would hope, girl. That's what we would hope. But I'm just saying that I think that we need to change the way that marriage is taught to younger people, like how it's viewed. This idea to marry for love, it's the fantasy, it's the fairy tale, it's the prince and the bride. And like I said, Disney has done a job. It's really done a job on little girls. Like, I'll ask you, ladies, you tell me, when was the first time that you thought about your wedding? How old were you when the first time you thought about what your wedding would look like? How old were you? And then tell me, did you have a concept of marriage, partnership? Did you know that you needed to be in a relationship with the person that's standing up there with you, that you walk down to, that you're being handed off to? Did you know you had to be in a relationship with this person? Whoever that person was, like, that's the thing when you hear men say, nigga, I just showed up. Just show up. When people tell the grooms, just show up. Because in her mind, she's fulfilling a fantasy. It does. The figure at the end of the aisle, it doesn't matter. It could be a goddamn. Let me tell y'all something. If the world did not think that women were crazy for walking down the aisle by themselves just to have a wedding day, more women would do it. Because a lot of women want a wedding. They want a wedding, not a marriage. Not even the man. That's what I'm saying. If they didn't think you hoes was crazy, y'all would be walking down aisles by yourself. And I would love that, because y'all need to be getting married to yourselves. You need to be getting married to yourselves. Yes. That's where the security is. Right here. Right here, girl. Yeah, everybody wants companionship and partnership. Like, I was even thinking about Miguel. in that situation, y'all corrected me because they were together 14 years, got married 3 years, and then divorced. You were married you were in a relationship this whole time with this person, and after 10 years, you're not making a commitment. But then this is the thing. You're already in a committed relationship. You just don't have a piece of paper. And it's like, is she sitting there like hanging on a string by her neck, like waiting for him to say, you know what? After 10 years, I want to get married to you. And guess what she gets to do? Have this fantasy wedding. You don't know nothing. You don't want to be married. You really don't. I mean, like, you want to have a wedding. And a lot of people, that's why these women act crazy when it's time to get married, because I've had this envisioned since I was 7 years old, and it has to be perfect. It has to be. I need to have my day. It's my day. And then after the wedding's over, you turn into, all of a sudden, everything changes. You turn into a little mule with a mattress on your back. The ears sprout up. Like when, what's his name changed? Donkey changed in Shrek. And then your ears come out and the teeth get real big. You're like, damn, why are my front teeth so big, girl? You turning into a mule. I just think that marriage should be framed completely different. I think you should take love out of it. Yes, I feel like this is what I feel. And you could, and people who are, don't take my advice, but I'm just saying, I think that when you're in partnership with someone, the way that marriage really is set up, it is really set up as a business, and that's why you need a license to do it, because it is a business, right? You are taking a sole proprietorship, which is your social security number, and combining it with someone else's social security number to create a business partnership. But you love this person. So my question would be, the person that you love and that you want to join together legally and create a partnership, right? Right? Because even on your taxes, it's a business, right? Now your taxes is saying you and this person are in a partnership, right? Okay? And for some odd reason, the stats show that the likelihood of you making more than him is very, very high. All right? But he's head of household, right? Because we're going to go with that, we're going to just agree that we do sit in that cognitive dissonance about how men are positioned in the home, right? Okay. Do you want to go into business with this person? Would you go into business with your marital partner? Is this person reliable enough and responsible enough and consistent enough to run a business? Because I feel like marriages should be ran like business. You got your books, you got stuff coming in, you have babies. Those are liabilities that you create that you have to make sure and take care of until they mature at 18, right? It's a business. It's a business. That's why no matter how much money you have, you should get a prenuptial agreement. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be super duper rich, because it is a contract. And in your prenuptial agreement, you should say at 7 years, we need to come back and we need to look at our relationship. Because another thing is this idea of forever. That's another thing. You get sold on this idea that you're going to be with this person for the rest of your life. And outside of the construct of marriage, we are social creatures. We are creatures who thrive when we're relating to other people, when we are in relationship with other people. When we relate, that's who we are. And so this concept that you can only be relating to one person for the rest of your life, that's unrealistic. And people are really being sold on that and then trying their hardest to maintain that. How the hell do you think that you're going to maintain forever? How? Until death do us part. The vows themselves is already iffy, right? The vows themselves are already like, to death do us part. Oh my God. I gotta die to get out of this contract. God damn. I just think it's weird. And then we have so many shows that are focused on people thinking and believing I need to find a life partner. And I need to be legally bound to this person who is not really reliable. They really don't have all of their shit together. Like, I wouldn't trust them to run a business. I wouldn't trust them to run a business, and you having them head a household. That's how I see. I feel like the idea, like, I feel like you should care about the person. You should want to be in relationship with the person. But this idea of being in forever and you have to be in love with the person, that doesn't, love is great. It's beautiful, right? It's a beautiful thing. The way a person makes you feel is a beautiful thing. But that does not, it's not sustainable. I'm sorry. Love isn't a sustainable tenet of marriage. I'm sorry. I know y'all like, I've been married and I love my husband. Yeah, but when you think about it, you think about the structure of your marriage. How is it being ran? How the kids are being raised? How money is being saved? How we're investing in stocks, or we're creating a portfolio for our family. So it's just, I feel like the love part of it should be taken out of it. And I feel like the love part of it is the reason why so many women enter into struggle relationships, because they have suspended logic, fell into a fairy tale, and are in love. This person is not good with money. They're not good with time. They're inconsistent. They haven't worked on themselves, but you love them. So you feel like you need to legally bind yourself to this person forever. To me, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's never made sense to me. It's never made sense to me. Ever. Ever, never, ever. Never. It's never made sense to me. I've always been like, this is dumb. This is dumb. And to me, it doesn't feel like it benefits women at all. Men live longer when they're married. Why? Because they have somebody taking care of them. Men typically die first. Why? Because they regress back to childhood, because they have their mama taking care of them for the rest of their life. Or someone who acts like a mother, taking care of them and doing stuff for them. So there's no reason for you to, but still being classified as the head of the household, as the man of the house. Women live longer when they're single. And I don't understand. I mean, what do you think? Men live longer when they're married. Women live longer when they're single. So you tell me, who does marriage benefit? And like the idea, and literally, women had to get married. They had to. Because they couldn't work. Because men had created an environment where women were unable to do anything, and women needed to be married to a man in order to survive. That's no longer the case anymore. And I think a lot of men have been programmed. I don't know if it's just like a genetic mutation where they've all been programmed to hold marriage over women's head, because they know that you've been sold this since you were a little girl. So I'm going to hold it over your head. And then when I finally, after 13, 14 years, when I finally get married to you, after 3 years, we're done, because this was really a waste of everybody's fucking time. It really was. And now you're in a marriage and you're like, okay, girl, what the F? On all of these shows, and it's so sad, because women be so desperate for marriage. Like, that is the reason why we have all of these conversations about women divesting, because we have been sold this idea that you need to be in partnership with somebody. And because the men in your ethnic group are not acting right, and they're not getting married, they are creating single mother homes and all this other stuff. So now you're like, okay, well, what do I do now? Okay, well, go to the other group of men. Hey, newsflash, those other group of men, they are terrorizing their women too. Like, that's the gag. And that's why when people say divest, yeah, you need to divest from unhealthy relationships with any groups of men. Because I tell you this, and people, oh no, that's not true. men are socialized the same in a patriarchy, right? They may have the culture that they come from, the religion that they come from, but at the root, society does a thing to men where they are taught really odd ways of relating to girls and women. And then you have these women who want to partner with men who just have weird ideologies of what it means to relate to another woman, because they have not been sold the grift of marriage. They haven't been sold that. So now you have a bunch of girls believing that they have believing and understanding that they have a biological clock. They've been sold this idea of marriage, so they need to go find somebody. I need to hurry up and find somebody. And that's why a lot of women get in these weird ass relationships, because they are, one, holding a gun to a nigga's head to get married because they got a clock that has to hurry. It's running out. And you're running towards a man who has not been taught the same things that you've been taught about seeking partnership and you needing a man to survive in this world. You actually don't. That doesn't exist anymore. You are able to work. You are able to survive on your own. Now the men are no longer needed because our society has changed. Now men are nice to haves. And because that we've lived in a society for so long where men are needed, they've become not nice to have around. So you don't really need it. It's a nice to have. It should not extract from your life. It should add to your life. If you're in a relationship where you feel like you're extracting, things are being siphoned and extracted from you, you need to reevaluate that relationship and decide if that's how you want to operate and that's how you want to get down. But you have a society of women who have been sold marriage and a society of men who have been sold you need power and money to get the girl, right? Then when they get the power and the money, all the girls, their radars are like, I've been taught that I need a man to survive. This man has money, so that looks like security to me. Bitch, go make your own fucking money. You can do that now. But you still looking to a man for this security when it's not necessary. You don't need that anymore. If I had girls, and I tell my boys, if you get married, you marry someone who you would go into business with. That's it. If they're not responsible, if they're not consistent, they haven't worked on themselves, I'm not going into business with somebody like that. So no, we can't get married, because marriage is a business. It's literally a business. It's literally a business. And when it's time to dissolve the business, what are we doing? Right? Splitting up assets, determining who has to pay what for the liabilities we created that don't mature until they're 18. Right? All of that. It's a business. As soon as you have a number attached to you, you're a business. I'm sorry. I know you want to exist as a human and walk around this world, but if you are going to participate in societal structures, it's a business. It is a business, all of it. From you wanting to be married. From you wanting to be married. Watch. Wedding revenue. A loss of $30 billion from 2019. So the wedding industry went down, and from 2019, it was $52.5 billion industry. $52.5 billion industry is the wedding industry. Yet and still, the divorce rate is what, 50%? So from my vantage point, and if I use deductive reasoning, it's telling me y'all really care more about weddings than you really do about marriage. And people really don't want to be married because they realize they've gotten into business with somebody who isn't business minded. You love them though. And I've been together, sentimental. You got a sentimental relationship that you holding on to. It just doesn't make sense for me. What do y'all think? Y'all think I'm crazy? Probably. Even like I said, like when I've been in situations where I was like, oh, if I got married, even if when I thought about a wedding and a marriage, my dress was black. And I knew in my mind, I don't want to be married to anybody, because I just don't like the way that men have been socialized to relate to women. It doesn't work for me. Like, it's not conducive to my overall well-being, the way that men have been socialized to relate to women. It doesn't work for me. It's like static, literally static for me. Whenever I even start talking, when I listen, that's why I say when you keep them at an arm's length, it's really good. Like, it's really good. But when you bring them in, something is not right with the programming. Something is wrong, and there's things that are missing. They haven't been sold the same things you've been sold, and so they know that, and they hold it over your head. And now you're in this sentimental ass relationship. You holding on for dear life by your teeth, your donkey mule teeth. Your back is hurting, your lower back is hurting, because you're a mattress too. And what are you getting out of it? What are you getting out of it? And if it's not mutually beneficial, reevaluate the relationship. And that's why marriage needs to be on contracted terms. Like, okay, 5 years, 10 years. Because at 10 years, you might decide, you know what, this is not the right thing for me. We gave it 10 years. I'm not seeing a return on my investment. We're not pulling in money into this business. We're making more debt than we are an increase. So this is not beneficial for me. I need to go be in partnership with where it's mutually beneficial, where it benefits you and it benefits me, and I don't have buck teeth and a mattress on my back. I'm just saying. Y'all tell me what you think. We spent enough time, didn't have anything to talk about, but I figured that would give us some content. All right, get down in the comments. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Peace.